You're sitting there in a room full of noise, people talking over each other, conversations blending into a constant hum. You're just listening, observing as the world around you seems to move at a pace that you're no longer trying to keep up with. You know something that the others don't. You understand the power of silence. It's a power that Sigmas like you have mastered, because you know sometimes saying nothing speaks louder than any words could ever do. And that's what we're diving into today, the power of silence in communication, and how it's one of the most effective tools you can use to connect, influence, and even control the room. Let's start with the idea of presence. When you're in a conversation, it's not just about the words you speak, but how you make others feel. When you stay silent at the right moments, you create space for others to fill that silence, and in doing so, you let them reveal more of themselves. Sigmas understand this. They understand that their presence alone can create a shift in the dynamic of any conversation. They don't have to dominate the room. They don't need to speak every thought that crosses their mind. They just show up, remain calm, and let the energy of the moment guide the interaction. You might have noticed this in your own life. You walk into a room, and suddenly people stop talking. The energy shifts. It's not that you've said a word. It's just your presence. The silence that surrounds you commands attention. It's a powerful thing to notice because it means you've tapped into a deeper level of awareness. When you understand the importance of silence, you begin to understand how to use it strategically. You don't need to speak all the time to be heard. In fact, sometimes speaking less allows your words to carry more weight when you do decide to say something. Now let's talk about listening. One of the greatest gifts silence can give you is the ability to truly listen. We live in a world where everyone is so eager to be heard that no one takes the time to really listen. But Sigmas, you're different. You know that real communication happens when you listen more than you speak, when you allow others to express themselves, and you give them the space to do so. By embracing silence, you open yourself up to hearing things you might have missed if you were just waiting for your turn to talk. The more you listen, the more you understand, and the more you understand, the better you can navigate the conversation. Think about it for a second. When you remain silent, you allow the other person to reveal their true intentions. If you listen closely enough, you'll hear the words that are unsaid. You'll pick up on the subtle emotions and unspoken feelings. It's these moments that allow you to read the room, to understand the person in front of you, without them even realizing it. It's a skill that takes time to develop, but when you master it, you'll find yourself understanding people on a deeper level. You'll know when to speak, and when to just let the silence do its work. But silence isn't just about listening, it's also about the impact it has on the other person. When you're quiet, especially in the midst of a heated conversation, it has a way of making others uncomfortable, and this discomfort can actually be a powerful tool. Because when people are uncomfortable, they're more likely to reveal things they wouldn't normally say. This is where you can gain an edge, because you're not forcing the conversation, you're allowing it to unfold naturally, giving the other person space to talk. And in doing so, you get to observe their reactions, their body language, the things they try to hide. There's also a level of control that comes with silence. In the middle of a conversation, when you decide to remain quiet, it puts you in a position of power. You're not rushing to fill the void. You're not scrambling to respond. You're calm, composed, and in control, and this energy is contagious. It sets the tone for the conversation, and others begin to mirror that calmness. They may become more thoughtful in their responses, or they may begin to share more openly. It's in these moments of silence that you realize you don't need to speak constantly to make an impact. Another powerful aspect of silence is its ability to diffuse tension. You've probably been in a situation where a conversation is starting to heat up. Voices are raising, emotions are escalating, and it seems like things are about to spiral. Now, imagine if instead of adding to the chaos, you simply stopped talking. Imagine pausing, allowing the silence to settle, letting everyone take a breath, and resetting the energy in the room. This is where the real power lies. You don't have to match the energy of the conversation. You don't need to react. All you need to do is step back and let the silence bring everything back to equilibrium. And here's the thing about silence. It's not just about using it in the moment. It's also about how it affects your overall communication style. When you start using silence effectively, you become more intentional with your words. When you do speak, your words carry more weight. People will start to listen more closely when you talk, because they know that when you speak, it's meaningful. You've trained yourself to use silence as a tool, and now your words come with purpose. They're not just filling up space, they're creating impact. So how do you unleash the full potential of silence in your communication? Start by becoming more aware of when you're speaking out of habit, when you're filling up the space without really adding anything of value. Instead of automatically responding, take a moment, breathe, and let the silence guide you. Observe the situation. Read the room and then respond with intention. You'll find that the more you use silence, the more confident you become. You'll no longer feel the need to rush your responses or fill every pause with words. You'll become comfortable in the quiet, knowing that it's not empty space. It's powerful as you embrace the power of silence. Remember, it's not about being cold or distant. It's about being present, being aware of the energy around you, and understanding that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say nothing at all. In doing so, you'll create deeper, more meaningful connections. You'll be able to influence the room without uttering a single word, and you'll become a master of communication in ways most people will never understand. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, because you will learn tons of information in the next video.